Good morning! It's going to be such a nice day today. It was really nice yesterday and the day before, and it's due to be nice the day after, which is fantastic. So what I want to do this morning is pick some lavender flowers, which I plan to bring into the house, tie into bunches and let them dry. We have so much lavender over at the top of our forested sort of area. You'll see that we do have a lot, so I will be leaving some for the wildlife as well. Come on, this way. You can see our house just up there. And some lavender just there as well. Billy, come here. I just saw a massive snake. Bear, come on, come on. I know it'll just be a grass snake, but do not want the dogs chasing it. No, not my basket. Not my basket. So pretty. From what I read online about picking lavender flowers, it's best to pick them when they're at this stage, when the buds have formed but the flowers haven't quite opened yet. Just means when you're drying them they won't all fall apart, so this is the optimum time to pick them. It also said online that picking them at this stage, well, cutting them at this stage, will lead to potentially more flowers afterwards. It feels like I have picked loads today, however there's still so much left. I reckon I could come back a week or so and it wouldn't look like I've even touched them, which is exactly what I wanted. It's so lovely that all this wild lavender was already here on the land. This piece of land we've barely touched, but it's a beautiful part of our property. I'm finding this really quite therapeutic. I've probably cut more than enough for what I need, but the beautiful thing is it barely looks like I've touched the lavender plants. I saw so many bees buzzing around. I'm going to use the lavender for some house decorations. I'm going to dry some out and use them for little smelly pouches for the insides of drawers or maybe for under the pillow to help with sleeping. And I also might experiment with infusing some into some baked goods, whether that be maybe like lavender infused cookies or shortbread. I know that when using lavender for culinary uses, less is more, but my options are open and it would be nice to experiment with using it for cooking as well.
Good morning. Today I am going to do a little bit of tidying up and clearing up near or up beside the old animal houses. I'll just show you what I'm going to do. It has been a while that I've been wanting to do this. There's just a lot of offcuts, especially around here. I've just been moving a few bits of metal onto this animal house, but there's offcuts here, there, everywhere. There's this pile. I'm going to do a little burn around here somewhere, but I'm going to do a bit of trimming first. And just up at the top of our driveway, again, there's another old pile here, and then there's this big pile, which is all came from just over there. Like I said, it's been wanting to do this for quite a while, but it's a nice calm day, everything's dry, so it's a good time to get it all cleared up and tidied. I will show you a little clip after I've got it all done.
I've got some strawberries to pick, which we can have with lunch. Perfect.
Having some nice sourdough bread with some brie and tomato. And just beside me here is little Lenny the lizard, enjoying the sun.
He has adopted us, I think.
He lives underneath where I'm sitting at the minute.
Tasted it. With the lavender flowers, I am making little bunches like this to hang inside. And I've also decided to make a little spring wreath. I've made the base for it just by twisting grapevines. Twisty, twisty, twisty. And this is the result. So all that's left to do is sit in the sun and add the flowers. Here is the little wreath I've made. Spring wreath. Looks pretty. Nice colours. And just using everything from the garden. This afternoon I have decided to make some sourdough cinnamon buns, cinnamon swirls, which I absolutely love. One of my favourite treats to buy whenever I'm out and about. But it's quite cool that I could make a sourdough version of them. So I have, in there I've got my flour, I've got my sourdough starter. I'm also going to put in some sugar. cinnamon, of course. There will be a cinnamon filling for whenever I roll them up, but I'm also putting some cinnamon into the dough. Some warm milk, it's not boiling, just warmed, and an egg. Okay, just going to get my clean hands in there and bring it together to form a shaggy dough, which is the same step that I do for any of the sourdough breads that I make. A little bit more still, I reckon. As you can tell, I'm kind of winging a baker. Bit here, bit there. So far it's working for me though. Yeah, that's good. That's looking good. I'm happy enough with how that's looking now, more of a shaggy dough. I'm going to leave it for 30 minutes. I'm going to cover it with a damp cloth, leave it for 30 minutes, come back, and at that stage I'll add in salt and butter. So I've already waited 30 minutes and I've mixed in some butter, not that much butter, and a little bit of salt, teaspoon of salt into the dough. Next is to knead it for about 5 minutes. Still quite sticky, as you can see, so I'm just going to make sure that I have plenty of flour on the work surface. Too sticky. Too sticky though. So I'm going to knead for about 5 minutes, and then after that I will leave it to rise for probably about 3 hours. It's quite warm in here today, so yeah, I reckon about 3 hours, and then I shall roll it out and add the lovely cinnamon filling. I am down at our garden beds and I am doing a bit of planting once more. We already have 100 onion starts planted and I've bought 100 more, so that gives us 200 onion starts, which sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot. However, when you think of the fact that there's 2 of us here, we eat onions most days and we want to be self-sufficient, so we need that many onions. It's a fact. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. The only problem is finding space to plant them. Because my friend is ever so generous, she has also given us some lettuce and some parsley as well. I have planted some lettuce seeds, which I'll show you, and they're starting to come up, but they're definitely nowhere near the size as these ones. So that'll be a good start for the lettuce. And parsley, I have planted seeds as well, but once again they haven't quite germinated just yet, so a good start on the parsley as well. Here you can see our baby lettuces, which are tiny in comparison to the ones my friend has given me. We haven't quite got our lettuce planting game right. We either end up with all the lettuce and too much, and because it doesn't store the best, it's too much for us to eat at once. Really, what I need to be doing is planting it gradually, but sometimes the seeds work and sometimes they don't. I have tried saving some seeds, and from experience the seeds that I save tend to work better than those from the packet. Bear, no, 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 my plants, my plants. So the previous 100 onion starts that I got from the farm shop are planted across 3 beds, so they're quite well spaced out. However, I am companion planting, so in this bed, can you see the onions in there? And on the next bed, we have the onions in as well, but in between the onions are, so we have a row of onions. They haven't germinated yet, but very recently I planted a row of carrots, and then a row of onions, a row of carrots, and then a final row of onions. So I've did that in 2 beds, this bed and this bed. And I also have onions in this bed, alongside some couve, Portuguese cabbage. Today I am also going to plant out the other 100 onion starts into one of our 2 new garden beds. So this time I am planting the onions much closer together. I'm leaving about 10 centimeters between each onion, and I'm going to do 3 rows of them in this bed, which is 1 metre wide. So I'll be leaving about 30 centimeters in width, spacing wise. From what I've read about onions, the raised beds should work perfectly for them because they enjoy the free draining soil. Little stick party going on over there. So I've planted in this bed, and by my estimations this should be about 90 onions, which is great. That would be the majority of them planted. However, I think my friend has been generous. I paid for 100, but what the? I don't understand. There are so many here. I thought there looked like there was so much more in the box, so whenever I got the first 100 from the farm shop, this is like at least another 100, maybe 200. I don't know. I feel a bit guilty really, like I've ripped her off. I only paid €6. I don't know where to plant them either. Not that I'm complaining, but we literally will be eating onions for the rest of the year if these are all successful. That's one bed fully planted with onions, lettuce and some parsley. It's now night time. I left the dough to rise to about double the size, and after I rolled it out into this very rough rectangular shape, I have some filling ready in this bowl to go on. The filling is quite simply brown sugar, butter and cinnamon all mixed together to make this sort of paste. So I'm just going to slap it on. Really hope, very excited about these. I was going to say I hope they're nice, but they will be nice. It's actually quite warm in here because we had the fire lit to bake the bread, to bake some bread and to make dinner. So the butter's got a little bit melty. Easy to spread though, I suppose. Big cinnamon sausage. We are going to have some bigger cinnamon buns than others because I didn't roll a perfect rectangle, but it doesn't matter. One, two, three.
Spent the last couple of days doing some clearing, burning up behind the animal houses and the start of our driveway. I think it's looking pretty good. Obviously you can see here still a lot to do, but on up compared with what it was, a lot clearer around here, a little bit more organized with some of the extra bits of metal. But all around here cleared, some nice big stones. And through all the bottom of these pine trees, there was a big massive pile there. And up here, all gone and trimmed. We also have our washing line extended a little bit along these two trees. I never did get any more along here cut down, but that will be the next thing, moving the edge further away from the house bit by bit. But from up here, at least we've got our old parking spot back.
It's one day later and the cinnamon rolls have been baked. They're looking really, really delicious. Various sizes because whenever I rolled the dough, it wasn't in a proper rectangle. But that doesn't matter, it just means we can adjust depending on how hungry we are. Once they cool, I'm going to make a cream cheese icing to drizzle over the top.